Anisha, and I'd like to talk about my research plan in this short video. I want to start with my research topic and the reason behind choosing it. My topic is critically evaluating the factors influencing employee retention in banking sector, a case study of Kumari Bank Limited in Nepal. The primary reason behind choosing this topic is while I was doing my bachelor's back home in Nepal, I got a golden opportunity to do 3 months internship in Kumari Bank Limited. Kumari Bank Limited came into existence as the 15th commercial bank of Nepal by starting its banking operations from April 2001 with an objective of providing competitive and modern banking services in the Nepalese financial market. During this period, I was exposed to the reality of the banking sector as it was way different from the theoretical framework that was taught in our classroom. I got opportunity to work in different departments like credit risk department, human resource department, but I was more attracted towards HR department. One of the main problem that I did notice during my internship period was to retain the employees in an organization for the long run because the employee turnover was high and there were too many advertisements for a job also, according to my personal experience. So, I was motivated and inspired to study and analyze the factors determining employee retention in banking sector in Nepal, which enabled me to get access to both academic as well as practical resources. The main contents of this video are positionality and individuality, Toolman's argument structure, critical eye, contextual information about employee retention, followed by why do employees leave the organization, and then what are the determining factors which can motivate employees to retain within our organization, and methodology. I'll be using this theoretical framework to conduct the research, and this is created by myself. So, the above theoretical framework explains that employee retention is being used as a dependent variable or DV, whereas job satisfaction, organizational commitment, work environment, and co worker relationship are being used as independent variable or IV. I have chosen these variables as IV because other factors like training, career opportunities and development, etc. has already been studied previously in relation to employee retention and I have referenced their name in the reference list. Being aware about the individuality and positionality can be beneficial to the research, according to Nichols 2009, and a positionality of researcher involves having a critical self-reflexive stance towards the knowledge production. There are numerous types of positionality, one of which is an insider outsider positionality. And as a researcher, I would have a hybrid insider and outsider perception because of insider cultural background and outsider appearance. It could also influence how the researcher would be perceived by respondent, and that positionality which is being perceived could influence the amount and type of knowledge that respondents share with the researcher. So, I will pay special attention to my positionality while conducting this research. I'll be using Toolmain argument structure to structure my research, which consists of backing, warrant, ground, qualifier, claim, and rebuttal, and also critical eye, which consists of accuracy, authority, objectivity, currency, and courage to analyze my research. The biggest challenge in present work scenario is to engage employee on job for long term by carving a proper career path for them and determining their future prospects in the workplace. The primary concept of employee retention is motivating employees to stay in an organization for a long period of time. Business can face difficulty if capable employees leave the firm, even if the fluctuation is extreme or recurrent. So, examining the variables like job satisfaction, organizational commitment, work environment, and co worker relationship in our organization is significant to recognize and forecast the elements determining the intention of employees to leave or stay in our organization. Due to time limitation, I have only taken 4 factors into consideration, and as a researcher, I will make sure in developing critically reflexive practice by interaction, analysis, and critically reflexive questioning while conducting research. According to LinkedIn, IBM has predicted 95% of its turnover within the next 6 months by analyzing the pattern in promotions by considering the area of fraction. Employee turnover is skyrocketing according to LinkedIn. In 2014, the employee turnover rate was 21.9%. However, in 2018, it's 27.9%. And this information has been taken from United States Department of Labor 2020. Similarly, according to the job advertising website called Monster, even in developed countries like UK, the average staff turnover rate is 15%, though the figure varies between industries. Let's discuss why employees quit. Employees could be frustrated with the corporation due to several reasons. Personal dissatisfaction and lack of motivation is considered to be a foremost reason for employees to quit the job. This dissatisfaction can occur from different aspects like compensation, job security, job autonomy, relationship with the supervisor and other colleagues, etc. Organization can also follow Maslow's motivation theory to motivate their employees. According to Forbes, there are a few reasons why employees quit, and the first one is overload of work. Next reason is when employees are not given any challenging task. When there is no career growth, employees quit. Employees quit when they are not appreciated. Loss of trust and confidence in senior leaders also makes employees quit. What are the determining factors which can motivate employees to retain within an organization? The first one is co-worker relationship. Researchers like Jasper 2007 and David 2011 stated that one of the most frequent reasons employees leaving their job is workplace stress because of the relationship among the colleagues. Next is work environment. Frank 2007 argued that a workplace should be a place of fun if key workers are to be retained. Thus, organizations which provide conducive work environment creates a good sense of belongingness that result in employee retention. Next is organizational commitment. According to Christopher 2019, employees with strong commitment continue employment with the organization because they want to do so. The last element is job satisfaction. According to Masum 2015, when any employment offers employees with prospects to stretch their capabilities, experience a sense of belongingness and freedom, while conducting numerous activities related to work, they are likely to be more satisfied and happy with their jobs, and that can eventually lead to a higher level of retention of employees. Competing in the age of AI, smart technologies are not only changing our everyday lifestyle, they are going their way into various businesses and are disrupting the workplace. There is no doubt that AI has potential in order to increase productivity, efficiencies, and accuracies. But is this beneficial? Many workers panic that the rising of AI could lead machines and robots to replace human workers and interpret this development of advanced technologies as a threat than to make better ourselves. In developed countries like USA and UK, AI runs the show on the digital core in financial sector, and it is believed that soon human will be replaced by AI and everything will be online. There will be no manager approving loans, no employees providing financial advice. But the story is different in context of Nepalese financial sector. As Nepal is a developing country, there is not much use of AI in the banking industries. The next section is methodology. A target population of this research will be employees who are working in Kumari Bank. The structured questionnaires will be directly and conveniently delivered to full-time employees who are working in 10 branches in Kumari Bank Limited. I will focus on supportive communication, where description, problem orientation, empathy, and equality will be covered under the supportive communication and will not focus on defensive method because as a researcher I don't want to make moral judgments of others, manipulate others by engaging in ambiguous motivation and not showing any empathy and equality to others. Questionnaires design and data collection. The questionnaires will be designed based on the measured variables derived from the literature reviews for the 4 independent variables and 1 dependent variable. 5-point scale will be used ranging from 1 is strongly disagreed to 5 strongly agreed. A pretest or pilot survey will be conducted with the sample size of at least 50 employees who will be working in some other different banks in order to generally evaluate the reliability of the measurement. Finally, the questionnaires will be completed and delivered directly to the employees who are working in Kumari Bank with the sample size of 200 with directions and precisions content to help them to give answers correctly. Another important process that will be done by me or the researcher in order to decrease biasness will be that the data will be collected at the point and period of 4 different times. Talking about the statistical tool, a descriptive statistics will be comprised of grading numbers and frequencies. Further, mean and standard deviation of the raw data will be calculated. Factor analysis, regression analysis, and Pearson's correlation tools will be adopted to analyze the data and to establish the relationship between variables by using SPSS analysis. To perform the hypothetical testing, p-value and ANOVA will be used. Validity and reliability. To test the validity of the research, I'll be using triangulation and convergence, and this occurs when the instrument measures concepts similar to that of other instruments. I am aware that if there are no similar instruments available, this will not be possible to do. And to test the reliability of the research, Cronbach's alpha will be used in order to determine the internal consistency of an instrument. The alpha's result is number between 0 and 1. An acceptable reliability score is 1, that is 0.7 or higher. Research design. Descriptive survey design will be used in this research. This design will be preferred because large samples are feasible, making the results statistically significant even when analyzing the multiple variables, according to Saunders. Analysis will start from the first day in the field. Taking notes at the end of the day should be encouraged. Reflexivity in terms of standing back and processing the day's events. Now, I'd like to discuss my research plan in brief. My research philosophy would be pragmatism. Theoretical approach will be abductive. Research paradigm will be mixed method because it is important to understand both subjective, that is individual, intersubjective, that is language based or cultural based, and objective, that is material and casual realities in our world. Although it is important not to influence or bias what you are observing, it is important to understand the insider's meaning and viewpoint, according to Hasma 2015. My research strategy will be questionnaires and interviews, and time horizon will be cross-sectional. I will also pay special attention from the ethical code of conduct point of view and try to avoid all kind of biases which could influence the reliability and validity of my overall research. And I am also aware that positionality can also influence the research, so I will pay special attention to provide the truth without negatively influencing the reliability and validity of my research. I will definitely try to avoid response bias while collecting data, as biased response is central to any survey because it dedicates the quality of the data, and avoiding the bias really is essential to get meaningful survey responses. I will keep in mind the social desirability bias by not asking sensitive questions with socially desirable rather than truthful answers, and also emphasize on avoiding neutral responding and dissent bias. Talking about the limitations, it only focuses on 4 aspects of HR and employee retention, and other factors are neither investigated nor analyzed due to time limitation. At last, I want to say that the overall journey of making this research plan was extremely amazing, and thank you for watching.